Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Keys to AWS Optimization, where today we'll be diving into how to use the new Amazon Quick Suite and how to use it with optimization, specifically looking at those cloud intelligence dashboards that we know and love, and diving into how you can connect to agents and how you can use it in general to get you started. But with me, we have Yuri. Hey, Yuri. Welcome back
Hey,
to the show, and hello, everyone watching. Questions, comments in the chat throughout, please. But before we get started, we're going to do our fun question. I realize, Yuri, I don't know if you've done this question, because you've been on the show so many times, but we have this new question, which is you have. Okay, have you had a frugal week or a splurgy week? And everyone in the chat, let me know what you have done too.
frugal,
Frugal?
frugal. Yeah, staying at home. It's rainy week in Luxembourg, so pretty much nothing to do around. So very, very frugal week.
Fair enough. I am on the end of the splurgy week. The Halloween-y kind of October autumnal season is upon us, and that means I do a lot of fun spooky activities. So I went to 3 pumpkin patches on Saturday at the weekend, and we just basically spent time doing photo shoots and having a laugh and drinking pumpkin spice lattes, which was so much
Nice,
fun.
nice.
But yeah,
Sounds
it's
like a
it's
fun.
honestly so sweet. Yeah, I don't know if you guys. I assume you have some,
Oh
but
yeah,
I would recommend going. They're just very, very sweet and cute. And they had like mazes and stuff like that. So very good. But let's get
nice.
into today's show. Welcome everyone to the Keys to AWS Optimization, the show we share stories, concepts, and solutions to help you unlock your spend at AWS. My name is Steph Gooch. I'm a senior SA advocate at AWS, here to help you on your FinOps journey. Yuri, do you want to do a 1 minute origin story? The folks know you, but what have you been up to recently? Maybe share something new that you guys have been doing.
Yeah, hey everyone. So I'm still Yuri, yeah, and I'm still principal technical account manager. I'm still leading cloud intelligence dashboards. So yeah, what I've been up to recently, working on my reinvent sessions this year, and very, very excited of some few new features which we launched in Cloud Intelligence Dashboards some time ago. So we have quite a lot of new things which we can briefly touch today as well. And yeah, just preparing for reinvent. Yeah, it's going to be very fun.
Yeah, it's getting to that time. It's busy for everyone. We'll do it now. We'll also do it later. So let me bring up some of our sessions that we have. So Yuri, you've got 2 sessions, is that right?
Yeah, I've got 2 sessions and they are both of them have repeat. So it's going to be 4 sessions in total. First one is for those folks who run multi-cloud environments.
Mhm.
It's going to be like a session how to manage and achieve multi-cloud FinOps visibility. So HMC 319. And then if you are up to get into unit cost economy, we have another session, which is COP 306, as far as I remember.
Do you know what I've done? I've actually put it in twice. I knew this would happen as I was rushing to add the session.
Oh,
So there is another one. I'll bring the backup.
yeah, COP 306. So it's building unit cost economy with cloud intelligence dashboards. So it's going to be a fun session. So because we speak a lot about unit cost economy and tracking cost per customer, cost per whatever user transaction, but what we are going to do at our session, it's going to be builder session, very hands-on. We are going in 1 hour. We are going to build a real unit cost economy dashboard, and it's going to be very fun. And everyone will get hands-on experience how to do it in real life. We will cover quite complex scenarios, close to real life scenarios. So I really invite everyone to join. The rooms are full so far, as far as I know, but you still can like just get to waiting list or just pop in, and there is always walk-in queues. So
Yeah. Just because the session is full, guys, I still recommend trying to get in if it's something you really want to, because like you said, these things are, people don't sign up. I think the other thing happens at reinvent is people get so excited they register for stuff, and then the logistics get in the way of like, oh, I have to get from Mandalay Bay to MGM or something, and you realize you're not. So if you're in the area of that session, always try. There's always a walk up line. So I encourage you to get in with that. But let's get into what we're talking about today, which is this Quick Suite, and very closely connected to QuickSight, which we all know. But Yuri, do you want to give folks a brief overview of what Quick Suite is and then how it's different or similar to QuickSight?
Yeah, absolutely. And Quick Suite is a brand new product which we launched on October 9, as far as I remember. So basically very, very new for those who didn't hear about it yet. And when I think about Quick Suite, is like think about all the BI capabilities which you had with QuickSight and all the like data and your BI dashboards which you already had with QuickSight, now actually empowered and enriched with generative AI capabilities from Amazon Q for Business. So basically, it's kind of joining together two very powerful feature sets and getting the synergy effect, because now in Quick Suite you can like index unstructured data as you could do in Q for Business, and you can also run some ask questions to your BI dashboards which you have there. You can have agents, you can have flows, you can have research if you want. There is a new feature sets for things like actions, tasks. So there is a lot of new stuff, and it's going to be fun for customers to actually try it out and see what values they can get out of all these features. So I really would like everyone to give it a try. There is a free tier for first couple of months. So yeah, you can just give it a try and see.
Brilliant. Always be mindful with those free tiers. If you want, we have so many resources on free tiers that we recorded earlier this year. They'll be on kind of wherever you're watching this show. I think I can't remember with the new free tier, with the new free tier, if you sign up a new account, you get asked if you want to start paying for things. But if you already have an existing account and you're using kind of the free service, when you expire past that point, you will start paying for it. And there's also a question about it, so maybe we can go into it now, which is what is the pricing difference between, I think it's going to be QuickSight and Quick Suite?
Oh, yeah, that's a very good question. And in general, think of it as if you've been using QuickSight before without generative AI capabilities in QuickSight. So the price was $3 per reader user who is like read-only user, and I think $24 per month for author user. So it's a user who can create dashboards, and some like 38 cents for spice capacity. So if you just want to keep using QuickSight, the pricing is the same. So basically, the price will be absolutely the same for you, no changes. If you are going to start using Quick Suite, then you will have your Readers Pro, which you're going to pay for $20 per month. And Authors Pros, I think they are going to be at around 40, right? We can double check that. But and then also there will be $250 monthly fee for, we call it infrastructure fee. So basically, once you enable Quick Suite and you start using all these generative AI capabilities, there is going to be additional $250 fee per month for your account.
So there's this flat fee. That's the thing you have to be mindful of. So regardless of if it's just you or if it's your entire organization in the account, you do have to pay that flat fee. Yeah, this is really crucial if people are. It's the same with QuickSight and even things like Amazon Q for things like Amazon Q Developer. Really encourage people to maybe delegate an account if you already have an account with things like CUDOS or the general kind of dashboards or FinOps accounts. keep everything in there, allow the creation of that license just in that one place, and maybe use IAM or service control policies to deny the other accounts. Because what you don't want to happen is suddenly everyone hears about this thing because there's so many cool stories about it and people are excited and they're like, I'll try it. And then they go and try it and they enable that license across 10 different accounts. And then you've accidentally spent tenfold the money when you could just do it in one delegated accounts. So yeah, just be mindful, folks, of that. So who do you see as the biggest users of Quick Suite? Probably a broad thing, but maybe if we focus down into kind of our world of FinOps, who are the big people that you see using this?
Yeah, so the biggest users of Quick Suite for me, it would be mostly people who wants to explore the data without actually knowing the data and understanding how to get insights from it. So, like you have some dashboards, you have some data sets, and you want to just start asking questions about those. And that would be a perfect match, so because you don't need to know a lot about the way the data structured under the hood, you just can start asking questions and see. Also, considering cloud intelligence dashboards use case, I hear often from customers that it's over time we have many features, we have many different dashboards, so they're like, oh, which dashboard this particular visual is, or for example, on which tab of CUDOS dashboard I can find something like S3 optimization opportunities or stuff like that. So, or where in all CID dashboards I can find right size recommendations and title resources. And that's where it becomes handy. You can start asking questions like this and get answers from Quick Suite, because it actually uses the dashboards and the data as a context into the prompts. And the good part also that, so generally I could see like first, like the most important use case would be is mostly for leadership personas who want to explore the data, who want to have some organizational wide overview over how they spend and usage looks like, what optimization opportunities they have. And then, they can go to the dashboards, explore and dive deeper, or can then just keep exploring in natural language. So, and then next kind of level or next step here, it would be like FinOps practitioners, right? So like there are a lot of people who not necessarily deeply technical, and once you get some recommendation, you may want to learn and like discover how to implement it. If like there is how like implement lifecycle policy, but how to do it. So you don't need to go somewhere else now to like into documentation and or search in the internet how to implement it. So you can ask those questions right in the chat right after you got this recommendation. So how to do it, and you will get pretty much very deep and nice answer. And you can then just use it, either go and optimize or share with your developer teams. And so it's quite powerful.
Yeah, we've got a couple of questions in the chat. Let me bring those up. And thank you for questions, guys. Keep them coming. The first one is, if you want to use just the GenAI capabilities of Suite without the BI of QuickSight, are there any fees? Are we paying unnecessarily? Or I guess is there's a way of splitting up the fees?
No, I think if you're going to use GenAI capabilities, the cost will be the same either you use QuickSight or not. So it's going to be exactly the same cost. So if for every like reader user, it's going to be $20 per month. For every like author pro user, it's going to be $40 per month. So and you just can use afterwards QuickSight as a free feature on top.
But if you just want to use GenAI capabilities, I wouldn't, if you just want that and you don't care about dashboards that you have or data that you have in there, you might want to consider just using Amazon Q in the console, Amazon Q developer, it depends on your use case really, because this is, like Yuri said, the power of Suite is that it connects into your own business data that you've already created inside of that BI world, which is important if you analyze a lot of data. But if you just want to be asking simple Amazon questions, use the free tier, use the free one in the console, or the QCLI free one, or the IDE one that you could just get into your developers. That is probably the better case for that. And we got another question. Is Amazon Q part of Q Suite? Side question: does Amazon Q stand for Quick? These are the hard hitting questions we want to know. Is Amazon Q part of Quick Suite? Yuri?
Is Amazon Q part? So I think they're still separate products. So there is Amazon Q and there is a Quick Suite, but it's pretty much most of the things that you could do is on Amazon Q, you can do in Quick Suite. There is also like a different dimensions of Amazon Q. There is Q for business, Q for developer. So Q for developer is kind of completely different product. Yeah, so it's and it's like it's something that you use for software development, for your coding assistant, right? But mostly when we talk about Amazon Q in Quick Suite is the feature set of Q for business, which is now kind of available in Quick Suite as well. But Q developer is a bit of a different thing, so it's also important to distinguish those two.
Yeah. And last one, I think we kind of covered this one, but how is it different to Q in the console? So I think, like we just said, Quick Suite, all the Qs. Quick Suite is focused around going into the quick site connection to your business data, and then the console is connected also to your data, but it's more about kind of resource level information. So we talked a lot about the MCP, which is your billing and cost management one you can access. If you want to do that locally, or if you're in the console, those tools have integrations with your billing console. So with Cost Optimization Hub or Compute Optimizer or Cost Explorer, Q in the console can just access those natively. And so if you want to ask about, hey, how much am I spending on EC2? And you just want a very basic, let me get Cost Explorer, you don't need to pay for the Quick Suite, which you could get the same answer from by using the CIDs, but you're paying a lot more money for the same thing. So just be mindful of what is the challenge you have, what you're trying to ask versus and what you want to pay for.
Yeah, I think also like one important difference is that in Quick Suite you can customize a lot of things. You can add your some custom knowledge bases, your unstructured documentation. You can connect Quick Suite to different MCPs, to maybe Slack, and to different sources and leverage the data as well. You can create something like agent and provide it some context, which is going to use in every prompt that you run. So it kind of extends the feature set and capabilities. So it provides you a lot of flexibility and control. While Q in console, it's kind of you just start asking questions, and what is there, right? So you cannot much like change it and modify.
Yeah. And then the last question, and we'll jump into a demo. Would I be right to assume the development offer AWS backing would be stronger for the new service suite other than Q Business? I think the thing is here, they're not competing against each other necessarily. If I'm right, Yuri, Suite is kind of taking the creation of Q Business and kind of integrating it into a product that already exists. But Q Business on its own, you can still use as an AI service that you can integrate with your business. So it's kind of like a pre-made one with stuff you've already got in cloud versus one that you can adapt and change yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely right. So it's more like bringing the best of Amazon Q for business to Quick Suite, and joining this Quick Site and Q for business to just bring you more insights, more synergy effect from two services. Because what we see is that many customers already have a lot of their data in Quick Site, right? So why don't then they need to index it separately in Q for business to use it for Q for business, while they can just use it in Quick Suite now? So that's kind of a mindset behind.
For sure. And last thing, Rachel says, Q should have a queen. Yeah. Hey, Rachel. Love that. All right. Let's get into the demo. So, Yuri, I'm going to bring up your screen.
Yeah. All right. Let me go here. All right. So here we are in Quick Suite new UI. And as you can see here, you still have things like your dashboards. You have some things like analysis, data sets, storage. So it's pretty much old quick site part. And the new part is chat agents, spaces, flows, research, and some other things. So that's how it looks like, and that's how we usually would get started. And on the right side here, you have your ability to select your chat agent. By default, you get My Assistant, so it's kind of default chat agent. You cannot change it much, but it's still pretty much powerful. You can start asking questions about the data which you already have in QuickSight and the dashboards which you already have in QuickSight, or you can create your custom agent and give it some additional context, give it some instruction, provide it like just tell it which maybe dashboards you want to use, which knowledge bases you want to use, and then use your agent which you created.
So should we start with how you create the agent? Is that what's
Yeah. Yeah, basically you go to the agents and then you can click on create chat agent, and like everything in generative AI world starts with prompt. So you can just describe what you want agent to do, and it will create agent from your prompt, or just like for the sake of time, let me go back and open the agent which I already created. Let me just click edit. So when you create agent, there are like literally few things that you need to specify. It may sound complex, like creating an agent, but it's literally very simple in Quick Suite. So you specify agent identity, and you explain it like, for example, you are an AWS optimization advisor with deep expertise in cost optimization, FinOps. Let me zoom in just to make sure that people see it well. FinOps, performance, security, resiliency. You analyze available dashboards and la 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 la. So basically, you just provide some agent identity, and then persona instructions. You can give some instructions here. So for example, I provided here always reference appropriate dashboard with making recommendation, like use CID dashboards in the knowledge sources. If you cannot answer like with available dashboard data, clearly specify which dashboard and tab would contain this relevant information.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's like, maybe it's for some reasons it just couldn't answer, but it will tell you where you can look for. So at least it will try to tell you that. And some things like, I can also give it some hints. Yeah. And again, because I know some stuff about cloud intelligence dashboards. So for example, I say that for cost optimization scenarios, if the question is related to things like idle resources, you can use Quora. It's a dashboard which is based on cost optimization hub recommendations, and CUDOS dashboard. So for example, those two dashboards have either right sizing or idle recommendations. So like for right sizing, use Quora. Yeah. Then for graviton optimization, use Quora, graviton savings dashboards, and CUDOS. So it's kind of more like providing it, narrowing down its scope of discovery, so it just may work a bit faster.
Bit faster. Then also searching everything, I guess.
And also like the results may be more accurate, so it won't just assume that if you have, for example, domains where you have multiple dashboards which overlap on the same kind of topics or similar topics, you can give it some instructions like which dashboards to use. And then for security and compliance questions, I might say, like use trusted advisor organizational dashboard for security and resiliency, and for compliance, use AWS config dashboard. And then for things like resiliency, use trusted advisor, CUDOS, And in CUDOS, there are like single AZ RDS instances and single AZ VPC endpoints. So it's like I was literally playing with it. So I just created this kind of instructions. You don't necessarily need to be that precise and explaining
Right.
it what you can find where. It just kind of to narrow down its scope of search and to a little bit speed it up.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
also this is the way I'm interpreting it and thinking about it as well is imagine if you had a new joiner and if they were like, oh, we've got these dashboards and you're kind of like, what are they for? And you had to quickly write down, hey, if you need any questions about this, go here. If you need these, it's kind of like a quick synopsis so that you could pass this in. And then in future, what you'll be able to do is then give them this agent and just say, hey, go and ask questions here. I've already now been inspired. I'm just going to do this for the ones that we have for our internal dashboards. I have nothing to do with cost, but I think I'm going to make my own little agents.
Yeah, and it's, and you can start with a prompt and it will like pretty much I created this agent with a prompt and then I just a little bit fine-tuned the wording. So but yeah, then I can say that for operational risks and events, use like health events or support cases dashboards. So for multi-cloud, use focus. So if the question would be about like cost per multiple cloud providers, it will know that it should go not to CUDOS, not to whatever like Cora, but to focus dashboard. And then you can just provide some instructions what you expect and like from the response. So I could just say like, don't make up numbers here, like don't make mistakes. Like yeah. But again, it's just to showcase that like you can provide additional context and your expectations. Then there is this communication style section where you can like specify what tone you want it to use. I just left default professional, friendly. You can just make it your optimization body and and then I can provide some stuff like response format and like I can say provide as detailed response as possible. I also played with things like use graphical visualizations as much as possible. So it's also you can play with it. But generally you can experiment with different output formats. And I also say in each answer, provide a link to dashboards where I can find respective data. So for example, when I ask some question, it will give me the answer, but it will also tell me from which dashboard it stores the answer and in which tab. So I can potentially just go and cross-check this data and see if it's accurate or, or just kind of to dive deeper. So it's quite handy as well. A few more things which you can set up here. You can either upload some files directly to the agent, some documents or some unstructured data, or you can attach knowledge sources, which is pretty nice. So knowledge sources, and let me just go to link spaces. And I created a space which I call CID space, right?
Okay.
Let me just open it in the same tab. Let me just click back, discard and exit. So I will go to spaces just to open it in the same tab. And in the spaces, again, it's super simple. I just added the dashboards which I want it to use. And then you can here add some stuff like some files as well. You can add knowledge bases, and a knowledge base would be something like, let me just paste it here. A knowledge base you can choose from many different sources, either connected to Asana, to MPC, MCP, and or to Slack, or just some data located on S3. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So you can add additional context here. So for example, what I also played with is you can also add, I think here was somewhere web crawler. Web crawler. So for example, I added as a knowledge base CFM tips, right? So it was it was using it in the then it was using it in the as a context as well. So it was going to CFM tips. So it once you add knowledge base, it actually indexes it, and then it uses the index in all your prompts. So it's pretty powerful, and again, like, I would really invite everyone to just play with it, experiment, and see what works best for you. But you can add things like AWS documentation or some other
Yeah.
pages that you wanted to use as well.
And do adding any of these cost any additional fees?
Yeah, I think if you add just dashboards, then no. And if you add some crawlers, then the data will appear in the index storage. So there is some fee for index storage, some cost for index storage.
Okay. Okay. So that's it. It's these small things. So don't go crazy. It's like we always say, don't add if
Yeah,
you
don't
add
add
any.
internet here.
Yeah, exactly. You're like all of Google. No, you want to make sure that these are specific things. And also, if you have garbage in, garbage out, as Adam always says to me, if you put loads of stuff in there that's not relevant, you're going to get not very good answers. So you want to train it up to be specifically good at one thing. So you've added in all of those
Yeah.
specific action, and then
Yeah,
the
so I
specific
have
knowledge bases.
CID space here added to my agent, right? So once I added the dashboards and knowledge bases and stuff like that, and I have my CID space here. And and that's basically it. You can then click launch chat agent or share it with any users that you want in the same account, and it will be available not only for you, but for others as well.
Okay, let's pause there for a quick second. And I have some questions that I want to bring up from the audience. This is a long one, but I've read it before I say. Okay, I feel like agents are becoming one of those things that you either get how they do them, makes sense to your brain immediately, or you don't. Okay, I don't know why I am in that category. It feels like a faux pas not to know how to do it, or them like sort of geometry versus algebra. What would be possible for you to create one from scratch? So do you want to go into what an agent is? I feel like the term, we mentioned it before in some other use cases, it's kind of thrown around and means different things, but do you want to quickly kind of summarize what that is?
Yeah, in current context, just think about agent as some additional information that you or some information that you want embed into it and use, and like you want it to use for every your prompt. You can instruct it to make some task, and then when you ask to make it some task, it will follow the instructions, right? So it's kind of think of it as you create some like a helper, right? And you instruct what this helper should do, how this helper should behave, and when this helper face uncertainty, how it should face like deal with that uncertainty. And then when you use this helper, you start asking it to do some tasks, right? And then helper uses all these instructions and the knowledge which you attached to actually answer or act on your instructions, right? To provide you some optimizations, recommendations, or whatever, do something, fill some form, or so. Yeah, for me, agent is like basically a helper which I can pre-set up with some instructions and help it to be more effective and kind of to know what I want from it, right? Because
Okay,
otherwise, if you just use LLM without kind of agent, so what is going to happen is that you always would need to provide this additional context. You always will have just plain answer from LLM, and then you need to but I want you to be more precise in this kind of areas, and so agent allows you to just set it up once and then use it for as many prompts as you want.
Yeah, it's that next step. It can actually do things for you. You can give it those tools, like Yuri mentioned, all those things you can add in. Go as context, but you can give it actions. You can give it the power to do stuff, and then it becomes more of this, like a real assistant that could go and do things for you, not just kind of summarize your email. So it's a little bit more advanced than that. But it's just a way. It's just a word we're using for someone to go and do something. This is a good little follow-up. Do you have a repository or glossary of common language to give instructions? What I would do, and Yuri, I'll let you answer it as well.
Yeah,
I would ask Amazon Q I get either in the console or I use it in my chat and CLI, like all the different ones for Amazon Q Developer. And I would ask it questions like, I want to learn about this. What is some common knowledge? Or if you have that question, what is an agent? It kind of to help learn. I will also say from next Friday on the T&C stream, we're doing 4 episodes on the coverage of AI practitioner, where we cover a lot of this kind of foundational language. So that's coming out soon. Follow, I'll share my LinkedIn profile, but follow that and I'll be posting about it when it's kind of marketed out. But that's a good way to kind of learn the basics of that. Would you anything?
Yeah, I think like there are some available online workshops about prompt engineering and how to write good prompts. But generally, as here, it's very simple because when you create chat agent, you actually provide a prompt. So you explain in your language what do you want this agent to do, and then Quick Suite will create agent with the best language it could come up with. So it's basically like start with this. It's a good start already. Also, what I'm like often doing is when I just, I don't have time to write a perfect prompt, so I just put some bullet points and ideas, and then I say, create a good prompt for LLM agent, and then run it, right? So
yeah,
and so it's already like makes immediately prompt way better,
very
and
meta.
it gives me some hints, how the good prompt should look like. So
Yeah,
it's for me, it's like very good start.
prompt for a prompt. Okay, we've got quite a lot of questions, so
Exactly.
let's dive into these. Okay, is there an ability to create a dynamic delegation for dashboards and data read access? This is a Quick Suite site. For example, I want everyone reporting to Bob to have access to the data and dashboards for resource owner.
And that's where the power of this synergy of Quick Suite and QuickSight comes into play, because in QuickSight you can implement row level security, right? So and you still can implement it in Quick Suite. So for example, if you have dashboard and Bob has able to see data only for particular accounts on the dashboard, and then you created an agent with you which actually uses the dashboard as a knowledge base in this space. And then Bob asks some questions about this dashboard, or like about the data which is used by the dashboard. Quick Suite will return the data which is only available through Bob's RLS, which is like restricted by row level security. So you can kind of use it and leverage out of the box once you set up row level security. And setting up row level security is not very hard. It's pretty much you just need to create a mapping from your Quick Suite users to some column values which you want them to see. So very typical example for cloud intelligence dashboards is to have RLS where you have mapping from users, user names, so user logins, to linked account IDs. So usually you want particular user to see only data for specific AWS accounts. And you create this row level security. And in Cloud Intelligence Dashboards documentation, customization guides, we actually provide details how you can automate creation of row level security. And Steph was actually one who created initial version. So like good way to give you a credit, Steph, for that. But generally it's quite simple, and you can automate it so in many different ways. So your row level security data set will be kind of automatically updated once you have new users or you have new accounts, and you can leverage it. So with generative AI era, probably row level security becomes even more important. Another thing is that you may want not to share particular dashboards with with some users. So that's where you can also like the level where you can also restrict what they can see or not.
Perfect, because we also had a question earlier, which was, will any of my permissions for RLS change? So the existing ones will still exist, right? They weren't going to disappear.
All existing QuickSight APIs, all existing QuickSight functionality stays. So there are no
Same
changes.
for this one. Will my dashboards disappear? No. So nothing's going to go away.
Nothing is going to go away. And also like the good part here is that like if you can try generative AI, you find value in it, you keep using it. If you're going to use just BI part, you can use it without paying additional fee and charges for generative AI. So it's very nice. So pretty much for cloud intelligence dashboards customers, so for any QuickSight customer today, so
Yeah,
if they want to keep using just BI, it's all everything is the same. Nothing has changed. So it just
perfect.
you've got more features which you can start leveraging.
Yeah. And guys, if you have any more questions, follow-up questions, please email costoptimization@amazon.com. Also, as a real personal favor, if any of these things have helped you and you would love to share some feedback that it helped, please email Customization Hub and just let us know. It enables us to keep this show kind of running. A couple more questions. Let's take this one. In terms of accuracy and relevance, does the number of sources affect the metric of correctness? We can assume all sources are clean and focused on that one persona. So the more you have, does it affect the quality? I guess to a certain, there will be that kind of drop-off point, right, Yuri? That if it's too much.
Yeah, there are like some degree of how much context you can provide to it. So it's uses this agentic approach, so it tries to optimize the way how it then calls LLMs with all this context. But generally, I think we are still trying to explore what would be the best way. So, for example, we now playing with testing a few things. So one part is when we have like generalist kind of agent, which has access to all the dashboards, but with
Yeah.
some instructions, as you saw, like use this dashboard for this particular task, or have more specific agents. So create, let's say, for example, agent for resiliency, agent for FinOps, agent for operations, and then you can kind of just like play with all these agents and ask ask questions, particularly for specific agent, which will have just, for example, one agent can have like one dashboard as a context and be like expert in that dashboard. So
Nice.
we're still trying to kind of explore and see what works best. I really would also invite everyone to give it a try and let us know what worked better for you. So
Yeah.
just also what we are going to do is we are going to publish soon some documentations and guides how to get started. Pretty much what I'm sharing here, but just in as a step-by-step guides for people to just quicker get started. We will share some agent prompts which we found useful and which worked internally for us. So we are going to help people to just start quicker and get up to speed faster with some hints and suggestions.
Nice. And we had one more, which was will Quick Suite have a deep native integration with Kiro? That's supposed to be. That combination was wonderful. Do you know if it connects with Kiro at the moment?
Yeah, I don't know at the moment, so we need to check.
The one thing I would say is if you would love that, what I would do, feedback. Someone else asked a question earlier about this. I'm not sure it's gone, but if you have feedback, please, I encourage you, you either talk to your TAMs or account managers to raise a feature request on your behalf, or you can do it in the console. If you go to the top right-hand corner, you can go through support and into feature requests. As when I was a customer, I would raise them all the time. And it is really good because especially these product teams, they want to hear from you guys. They want to learn what's going to make these applications better for you.
Yeah, that's a very good
So
point. Also, when you ask some features, like explain more context, like what you're trying to achieve. Yes, so like why do you need integration from Kira? What exactly you like? What's the use case you see? So it usually
yeah,
helps to kind of scope it faster and route it to the right team faster, either Kiro or Quick Suite in this case. But yeah, more context you provide, more like effective this feedback is. So
brilliant. All right, let's quickly jump back to the demo as we're almost at time.
yeah.
Yuri, I know we spoke. You've obviously, we can quickly touch on the chat, but I also want to make sure we cover some of the IAM permission stuff we talked about when we were planning this. So yeah, just do you want to showcase a quick example of one of the questions you asked?
Yeah, sure. So just for sake of time, I'm going to show you some questions which I asked before. And for example, I started with some question like provide detailed analysis of S3 cost and usage and provide per bucket recommendations. What can I optimize? So, and as you can see, it actually went through, for example, it found S3 cost and usage data from CUDOS dashboard. So, like, well done, good finding. Then it made some S3 cost and usage overview, some provided report about regional distribution. So it tries to be tries to be very proactive, right? And then it went to some per bucket analysis. So some unoptimized bucket, and it says like you can implement their lifecycle policy. Some like this is a demo account, so obviously a lot of things unoptimized there already. And it basically, again, here it just uses the name to use like to try to recommend you what to optimize. But then some buckets like let me show you here. Yeah, so some buckets like, again, like delete me after, so bucket name suggests that it's going to be deletion. And then in some cases, so for example, it can see in the CUDOS dashboard, it can see that the buckets have not completed multi-part uploads, so it can recommend you those ones as well. Then it also shows like the distribution of your total storage, so 76% on standard storage, some recommended actions, move to infrequent access. Then for incomplete multi-part upload, it found some bucket where it found incomplete multi-part upload. It says clean up immediately. So like quite a good analysis already from start. And for very technical people, it's kind of like not a rocket science. Everyone like knew about this, but especially for folks who kind of maybe not that familiar with optimization techniques for S3, it's like a good getting started, a lot of good hints. Also, you already know that in CUDOS there is some S3 data, so you can go and check on the dashboard. So it's pretty much nice, and and then you can see some visual representation. So it's kind of total report, what you can optimize. So it's it's quite a nice report, I would say.
Yeah. One other thing, so let's jump into some of the permission stuff. The encouragement is go make one of these and try the questions out yourself. You don't want to watch us just ask questions, because I want you guys to kind of play around with it.
It just takes a little bit of time till this questions got answered. So that's why I'm showing like the questions which I asked before. But then another interesting stuff is that you can ask like, show me right sizing opportunities and idle resources without, you don't need to know where to find those right sizing recommendations opportunities. And it goes to core, it goes to trusted advisor dashboards, and it like builds kind of executive summary and then goes to different opportunities like migration to Graviton, and it provides you per resource level details already, so which resources you can optimize, like idle resources cleanup, some idle databases, some after-scaling groups. So again, it's very nice, like quick start, of what we can do.
See what you did there? Quick start.
Quick starts, quick wins, quick starts. And then again, it provides you some detailed analysis breakdown of what you can do. What is also very cool here is that once it tells me, look, you need to like right size EC2 instance. So I can ask here how to right size EC2 instance. So maybe I don't know how to do it. And then it actually explains me like which instances and right sizing opportunities I have. And then it provides me like some AWS CLI commands, how to right size it, some like approach. You need to use blue-green deployment and, like set up alerts.
All the details.
All the details, but it just, you don't need to go somewhere else. You can just get it in the console. You can enable here also web search, so it will use also like a web as an additional context. So it will use web as well in providing answers. So it's very, 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 very nice. You can again dive deeper.
I was going to say, I'm just aware of time. So my recommendation is, guys, go set one of these up and go ask it some questions. Simple as. I know you all are using CIDs anyway, so go and do this. But just on some admin questions I want to make sure we cover. Can you share this agent with other people?
Yes, you do. So once you created an agent.
Mhm.
I can just go here.
Oh, you're on it. You're on it.
Yeah, I'm on it. So, and you in the agent, you click edit, and then you just share, and here you search which users you want to share it, and you can share as a viewer, so someone will be able to just use agent and ask questions and basically use it in the questions, or you can share, give someone owner permission, so they would be able to modify this agent. So you can have like a group of maybe admins who curate agent, and then you have rest of the users who just viewers who use the agent.
I'm just reading the questions. Perfect. And then we also talked about, do you have the IAM permissions needed to access this kind of stuff?
IAM permissions, so it's general like quick site former permissions, and there are basically, when you log into QuickSight, depends on how you federate with QuickSight, either like, for example, with IAM, then you need to have a certain roles, either it's QuickSight create user or create admin, or basically stuff we will share a link with the documentation. I think you should have it. And so there are 3 IAM like actions which you can share with users, and create user will, what if you have like IAM create user action which attached to the role which user has, then user, when they first time log into Quick Suite, they will be created as a reader, right? If you have like create admin, I think, or create author, so then when they first time log into Quick Suite, they will be like created as author. So if you want your users to at first log into Quick Suite be created as just readers to avoid, like extra fees for authors if they just use it. So you just need to have this IAM action, QuickSight create user, I think, and they would be able to just, when they log in, they will always be created as just readers without admin permissions.
So I want to get on one last thing. There's 2 things in the chat I want to adjust. Rachel said, is there a template for agents? Yuri mentioned earlier, he's going to be releasing documentation on a load of this stuff, especially connected to CIDs. So the big thing is follow. When we get it, we'll kind of share on social media, and I'll send that out at some point. But you could also just look at what we typed today and use the same setup. Another question, which was from Randy, which is, can Quick Suite agents provide fine-tuned models hosted in Bedrock? Quick yes or no from you, Yuri? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Randy, I would love for you to email me. Randy, email me cost-optimization@amazon.com with the feedback, and we'll get in contact with the product team with you. Please. And anyone else, any questions? I know there's some questions we've missed today. The last one, which was 2 people asked, were about multi-agents. So I know we wanted to touch on flows. Do you want to do that in like less than 2 minutes? Because we've got to drop off.
Less than 2 minutes is, you can create a flows of agents. So think of it as a workflow of different agents which can run different tasks. And then you can consolidate the work from multiple agents in one single task. So again, everything starts with some prompt, and when you try it out, just like write it like what you want to achieve. Don't think about constraints. Like, I want to have like multiple agents communicating between themselves, one discovering FinOps savings opportunities, another providing me overall my like FinOps spend and usage reports. Third agent is going to be analyzing security and operational risks. So what is going to happen? So it will create you these flows, and the flows will use a chain of agents. So you will be able to then execute this flow when you want, when you need, and it will run all the agents, and then it will basically take the output of all these agents and will use them to create some output report for you. So for example, I played here with some stuff, and again, so here's how it looks like. So you have some like kind of agent with views dashboard data, then some which prioritizes optimization opportunities, so some generates implementation roadmap, and all of them kind of take the input from previous agent and improve it. So for example, what you can do is, again, you can create multiple agents which make analysis of different areas of your cloud spend, looking for some different areas of optimization opportunities. For each agent, you can specify a task and a context. So you can say like one agent works with one dashboard, and then you can have an additional agent which summarizes all together and builds you a perfect report. And you can then just run this when you want and you need. So for example, maybe weekly, whatever, cloud operations analysis, and it will build your report without needing to run some prompts.
Okay, brilliant. We have covered so much. Thank you for all the lovely questions. As I said, there's a couple we didn't get to. Email me, costoptimization@amazon.com, and I will get back to you with those. Rachel as well, email me for the template. And we'll quickly do our secret riches summary, which is summary of the episode. These are at the end of almost every one of ours. So you can see, I don't know what he's going to say, and he is not AI. Still repping the suites at low cost, still taking time to perfect the dash, and he's still got love for the street. It's the URE. It's Yuri as in Yuri. Look out for Steph and Yuri at reinvent. I think that's a song, and I've just butchered how I've said it. So read it yourself in the song vibes. Yes, catch us at reinvent. We'll both be there. Sessions. Follow us on LinkedIn, and we will see you there. I think let's bring up this. So this is my one. I've got my other sessions fully booked, so try and drop into this one. And Yuri's sessions are the Achieve Multi-FinOps Visibility and Developing Unit Cost Metrics with the CIDs. So register for those as soon as you can. With that, thank you so much for joining us today. Next Monday, I'm back on here with how to build like AWS. Next Thursday, I'm back on here with keys. And next Friday, I am back on here with AI Prac. So you're getting a lot of stuff, but it's this time of year where all the learning is happening. So make sure to tune in and subscribe wherever you're watching. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.